Hi everyone, Amy from Anvesaka Yoga and Ariel here, and today I'm going to talk you through two more poses on the hammock. Now one of these is traditional yoga pose, which is a dancer pose, Nadrasana, and we're going to give that a go without the hammock first of all. For those that don't do traditional yoga, I think it's really valuable to experience the pose both in its grounded form and its modified aerial form, because there are always different benefits to each version. And also, very much what I teach is aerial yoga, and I want to always equate what we're doing in the hammock back to traditional yoga pose. And the other pose is a variation. Now this variation isn't possible in this way in traditional yoga because we need the hammock for the balance. And that is what I call reverse dancer. So we're working in a very similar way, but we're going to take that pose in the other direction. So to begin with, we're going to come and just give dancer a try on the mat. I'm going to stand just a little bit forward on mat. You might well see there's a mat on the ground. I'm standing a little bit forward simply because if I'm behind the hammock, I'm not sure how much you'll be able to see of what we're doing. So if you've got a bit of a balance wobble going on today, stand near either your hammock or the wall, and that way you can use them for balance. You can put your hand out to help you if you need to, or it's quite nice to have a chair in front of you and you can hold onto the back of the chair if you need to and gradually maybe take your hands off the chair. So dancer pose. And I will put a little picture in the comment of someone who's beautifully flexible doing this. I might be a yoga teacher. I've also been in lockdown now for 9-10 months. I'm stiff as a board. Okay, so your version might be somewhere closer to mine than the very flexible person. I'm going to link below. See how it goes. So possibly holding onto your support. I'm holding onto my support because I'm looking at you and I will fall over. Reaching back to take hold of the front of the foot in your hand. If taking hold of the front of that foot isn't doable today, you can get a yoga belt, a ribbon, a dressing gown cord, even a piece of computer cable, hook it around the front of your foot and hold on to that cord, that cable instead. Taking hold of the front of the foot, and you bring your hand to the outside of your foot, so near the little toe edge. And what we're going to do, we're going to start to lift towards the sky, pressing the front of the foot into the hand and stretching the other arm forward. So as you can see, I'm holding onto the hammock there for balance. I'm going to try it on the other side without holding onto the hammock. So make sure you give this on both sides, holding onto the front of the foot, pressing it into the hand. As you get lift, you might want to bring the hand to the inside of the foot to create your lift. So what I'm not doing is opening that knee out towards the side, keeping it pointed down to the earth. And that's just the same as what we're going to do with the hammock now. So standing in front of your hammock, and you're going to take one foot and put the front of the foot into the fabric. If you're very new to aerial yoga, you can turn around, put that leg in, and then turn away. Reaching over your shoulders, taking hold of the fabric over your shoulders, your thumbs are pointing down towards the earth. Drawing down on the fabric to lift the foot. I'm going to turn sideways a little bit because I don't need that tightness in the fabric from the ceiling to create your lift. Now when I teach this to a beginners group, what I'll very often see is people leaning their whole body forward. Your hammock is there to give extra lift to your back leg. It's not there for the whole body to balance into. It's strong enough, don't get me wrong. We're trying to keep the weight centered over the standing leg, just as we would do in the grounded pose. Lowering that down, and we're going to go into our reverse dancer. So, if you've never done this one before, it's a bit of an ooh pose, and by that I mean it's going to be quite strong. But the progress you can make in this pose is immense and it happens so quickly. So with your grounded foot on the floor, so take a moment, have a look, check it under your plumb line, so the point at which your rig is attached to the your hammock is attached to your rig or the ceiling. If you're too far forward or too far back, you'll probably start to spin. So checking you're underneath there, and if you are, starting to lean back, stretching that leg behind you. Again, I'm going to see if I can do this sideways. This one does require a lot more weight into the hammock So I'm going to spin, I think, here, but stretching back. And as you stretch back, what you want to go to do is take your foot away from your bottom. So you haven't got the heel tight in. The best way to think about doing that is think about taking the knee back. And as you take your knee back, your foot will automatically come away from your body. And it's a strong stretch through the front of the leg in the hammock. Release, come back to centre, release that leg out, and we'll do it on the other side. Remember, you might have very different flexibility one side to the other. So bring the other leg in, so front of the foot into the hammock. We're going to do a traditional dancer first of all. So the way I find my plumb line, I just lift my standing foot off the floor for a second, and I'll swing back to where I need to be. And that way I know I've always got my standing foot in the right place. So from your plumb line, your standard dancer, so your thumb's pointing down towards the earth, drawing the foot up towards the sky, and hold there. Taking a few moments. If you only hold this for 2 seconds, enough to get a photo, it's not actually going to really benefit your body. You want to hold it for about 30 to try and get your stretch. I'm not going to keep you here that long today. This isn't a class, it's just a tutorial on one pose. Bring it back to centre and reverse dancer. So keeping that foot, the grounded foot, exactly where it is right now. We're going to lean back, stretch back. So the front leg becomes a diagonal. Then take the back knee back to release the heel from the bottom. And holding that one there for a few more rounds of breath. Inhale, bring that back to centre. So I'm aware that that second one, the reverse dancer, isn't the clearest. I'm trying to do them. There we go. So you're looking for a pose like that. Okay? Do try and go backwards rather than sideways. This one can be quite tricky if you're working from a single point rig, because you might like to spin. I'm much more familiar with working with double point rig because it's more stable for aerial yoga. It has its limits, it's not so great for the more fancy tricks, the aerial hammock type work. But I'm a yoga teacher, stability is what I like. So if you have got the option, do this one for double point. Okay, thanks for joining me today, and I will see you again soon for more full classes, more poses, aerial yoga and traditional yoga at the Anvesaka Yoga channel. Thanks for joining me. Bye now.